And we are live. Check it out. We're inside the XP Mentor private Facebook group, and we're also inside the XP Mentor public group page. So, for if you're watching this inside the group, hey, congratulations. If you're watching as part of our overall audience, thank you for being here. You're going to love what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about the new, I should say, the semi new social media app called Clapper. If you've never heard of Clapper, you must get dialed in. I did this when Clubhouse first came out. I was telling everyone, just kind of like I'm doing now, you better get over on Clubhouse. That's when it was about 100,000 users on the app. So I was part of that, 100,000 users. The next thing you know, in less than 2 years, it went from 100,000 to 10 million. And so I've got a very special guest here today, Mr. Martin Pratt. He's one of our XP Mentor specialists. And he and I just got through doing a Clapper radio room. And so this is social audio on Clapper, and it's powerful. So Martin, welcome to our jam session here. And I think it's important that we talk about this because when we got through, it was just a short room, about an hour, hour and a half, and it was so much came out of it. So what's your general feeling as an XP Mentor specialist, someone that is also a digital marketing strategist? What's your overall feeling on what you're seeing with Clapper, Martin?
I think that Clapper has the ability to. I'm very bullish on Clapper. I think it has the ability to disrupt the social media landscape because those of us that are in our 40s and 50s and some I would call it late millennials, so late 30s, we don't necessarily relate to TikTok the same way, or definitely not Snapchat, right? And so our offering was kind of um, lacking, so I think that's why Clubhouse did well. Besides, we're in the pandemic, we haven't really had a social media refresh or a social media disruption. And what Clapper does, it takes the best of different social media platforms like Instagram, like Twitter, like Facebook, and all of them, and Clubhouse, and it chooses the best of it, but makes it simple. So it's not you. Everything is just right there. Even the concept of doing a draft video and finding that video and then being able to repost it. It's smack right on your front of your profile. The draft.
It's like right. It's like right there.
Right, exactly, like right there, like, and so you once you realize, even one of the things, Jay, I was looking at today, I was watching a video on Clapper, and I wanted to speed fast. I wanted to speed it. I wanted to 2x it and fast forward it. That's what I was trying to say. And I was like, "Where's the fast forward button? Where's?" And it's literally right there. Like it's like again, it's just right smack in front of your face. It's very intuitive if you accept that they have no bells and whistles, but no frills, so to speak, but all the bells and whistles from every other platform. So it's a really interesting space to be in. I will say also that it's heavily dominated by veterans. This is the first social media platform I've seen where I see veterans proudly, wearing their flag of military service.
Well, why is that a big deal to you? I've heard you mention that a few times. Why is that a
Because
big deal about veterans?
I think that a space that aligns itself with the military or people that typically have been voiceless or don't feel like their voice is being heard per se. And Facebook could have been that platform years ago, but for all intents and purposes, it's not. Like we're here on Facebook talking about stuff, and I'm a member of a veterans group that is, I think it's like 25,000 people in that group. Probably they post 2 or 3 times a week. Whereas I can see Clapper, it's every second. There's another veterans conversation happening, and it's just I think also the platform intentionality with creating the military ribbon, and Facebook has done this too, to that extent. But it wasn't intuitive. It wasn't the beginning of Facebook that they embraced everybody. Facebook really was for college students, and it really was for a certain group of people. Then when MySpace, people started leaving MySpace, then Facebook kind of opened its doors a little bit more. But from the start of Clapper, it's been let's accept our veteran community, and I believe it was created in Texas or was founded in Texas, and so it
Yeah,
has a
we're
very
Texas.
Texan, it has a very southern rural.
Southern feel.
Right, correct. And so I think that's a unique perspective also. Um, and it's an adult platform. It does not allow anybody under the age of 18 to be on a platform.
Yeah, because usually you would think of social media being something like California, New York,
Correct, right,
like trendy. And this is coming straight out of look, this the good old boy feel, the good
right.
old girl
Nappy roots.
feel,
Yep.
right?
Kentucky nappy
Nappy
roots.
root. Yeah, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm like,
Right.
look,
Yeah.
you'll get on there, you'll see people with 20. Have you noticed it, Martin? 20, 40, 100, 300,000 followers, and they just average, ordinary,
Correct.
like many of them just country folk, like
Right.
saying, listen, they're on there speaking their message. So the power I found on Clapper is your authenticity. So it's like really pushing you to get your authenticity out of you and on camera, like so people can suck up that content. What do you got to say about what is this thing with people really wanting to suck up content, Martin?
Well, when you look at whether it's Disney Plus or Hulu, I would say in the last 4 to 6 months, those streaming platforms gave are giving more content. And so, but if you go, 2019, 2020 through the pandemic, there was really, and even before 2019, 2018, these content platforms were doing bad because they just didn't have a lot of content. And it wasn't that they didn't have a lot of content that uh, offering, they didn't have a lot of inventory. They just chose not to put content on their platform. We couldn't, we don't understand why. Now you're seeing a rush, like even, in the hood, they're making fun of these movies that are on Tubio, TUBI, because they're so like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is movie, but somebody intentionally got their crew together, got a
Right.
camera, and shot and created a script and went through stunt props and all the things you got to do to create a movie. Yes, it may, but somebody, and Tubio says, yeah, we accept your we'll accept your content. Um, the offering of content that is consumable, digestible, either in bite size or consistent. I think that one of the problems with Netflix, to me, is it made a lot of people want to binge watch stuff. So people want to see from episode 1 down to episode 10. And right. And
Like,
so
bam.
what do you watch tomorrow? I'm bored again. So therefore,
Right,
places
right.
like TikTok is feeding that. So what's funny, as I'm glad we had this conversation. It's going to be a separate conversation we're going to have. You and I are going to have about another space that is up and coming, which is streaming, and that is over the set top. So creating an app and creating a place for your content to live that can be streamed on Amazon Prime or Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Roku. The challenge with that is that you have to consistently create content. And so TikTok worked where the short version, $1 billion was spent in that network that failed. I'm sorry, with a Q, and it failed because the content wasn't consumable. It wasn't what everybody wanted to see in all the SKUs. So you have Asian folks who will say we're not represented well. They only have us in this lane. So now you see in Netflix, you see an entire vertical of Asian content. Now you're starting to see that same vertical crossing over in Amazon Prime. Why?
Right.
Because that's serving a need. Whereas on TikTok, you have all these SKUs, all these different categories. If you're a cat person, if you're grandparents who are taking care of grandkids, if it's whatever hashtag TikTok. So it's like, book
Right.
TikTok. It's What Clapper, I think, will allow us to do that we didn't have a chance with TikTok is Clapper is going to allow us at the ground level now to decide how we show up. So if we want authors of Clapper or we want to clap for books, and the thing that's hilarious to me is the name, right? Because like book talk or book TikTok, it doesn't really, it's not intuitive. But the word clap, when you clap for
Right.
somebody, like,
Right.
so it's like clap for
Right.
authors,
Appreciation.
right?
Like appreciation.
Clap for ministers, clap for real estate. It's intuitive. And the other thing that Clapper does differently, I think, that makes this what you said about why do people want to consume content on the front of your profile. You can put 5 or maybe even more. I've noticed most people put 5 though. 5 different keywords. So if you click on those keywords, you go to another list of everybody on Clapper that has that keyword identified. So you could go to Democrat or you could go to gun reform, or I've been just playing around, going to people's profile and pressing whatever they identify as
Right.
LGBTQ, ally, um, some say Trump. And when you click on that, what Clapper does is just show you how many thousands of
That
people
quick.
have that. Right, right, right. And
Somebody just said, Martin, over in the chat, they just said that they love, I think, yeah, it was Desiree. She said, I love how I can find people in my own city. That's really been
yes,
a big
yes,
thing. Like,
yes.
hey, how can I find
Yes,
somebody
yes.
here local?
The search. Your feed shows you, like for me, it's Lafayette, Louisiana. Then following people that I'm following, and then for you. So I just click on those 3 top buttons, and I can just see. And unfortunately, it's only 2 people clapping. I'm on Louisiana beside myself. So I got to change that.
You know what that means, don't you?
In
You know what that means, right?
what's that?
If there's only a couple people doing it right now,
What?
that means massive
OG.
opportunity. That
Yes,
means you're
yes,
OG. Like we all like we're talking to some people that's OG that we consider OG. That the OGs are like really right now happening to
correct.
bring on the wave. I talk about those 4 phases of momentum in a company.
Oh,
And this is important for everybody to really understand. You got formulation, that's the first year. Most companies can't make it out. That's
I'm good.
85% fail the
Write this
first year.
down. Jay always make me get
All
my
right.
notepad. Formulation.
All right, that's your first year. 85% of all companies fail the first year. And that's formulation because you're formulating. You get trying to
Right.
figure it out, and most people can't
Right.
figure it out. Second
It's true.
year is called
It's true.
right. Second year is called concentration. If you did make it through formulation, you got something that's working. So what do you got to do? It's really a question rather than a stage. It's a question. Concentration is can you concentrate on those things that worked and build on them and not lose your focus of why you built in the first place? Can you
Okay.
concentrate?
Can you drill
Most
down,
companies,
drill into that? Right.
yeah, most companies can't get through concentration. But if you do, you will literally be along the select few that hit what's called momentum in year 3. Year 3. Well, guess what year Clapper's in?
Momentum.
Year 3. They're in momentum. Momentum is very unique because you got to know how to handle it. If you hit
Right.
momentum, that will typically, if you get there, you will push to year 4, which is explosive growth.
Gotcha.
Explosive growth typically lasts from 5 to 20 years. Now, I learned this from the Harvard Business School
Got
report they put out 25 plus years ago.
it. And it's still to this day.
Right now, here's what happens. The people that created the company, a lot of people that's newer on the platforms, because there's so many bugs and tweaks and glitches or whatever, they quit.
They're like, I'm out of here.
So,
I'm out of here.
right. And you feel their energy too. So you can
Yeah.
feel them going, well, we've been here, we've been
And they
waiting,
come back. They
you know,
come back. Yeah, they come back. They're like,
right? Well,
like the
we've
guy
been
changed his
waiting.
name, Sandman. Sandman changed his name. He deleted his account. He had thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of followers. He deleted. I was like,
See,
bro, why did you delete your account, bro?
got frustrated. Okay. So what happens, Martin, is those people quit. And then the people that come in years 3 and 4 that put down the trenches when most of these bugs
Right.
got figured out, you ride it up and then you consider like the real OGs because the OGs, they quit. They're like,
Right.
hell with
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
So
And to
this,
your point, their followers, they come back and they feel like they start all over again because their followers are gone too. The people they may have a high number of following, but those people also quit. Because a lot of times, to your point, when I do a search by those keywords, I'm going through I look at the last date of the video. A lot of them, to your point, quit in August, October. People haven't posted stuff in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. I mean,
right.
two or
They're
three
like,
months, rather. Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, I'm out. So, I just want to make that point. So let's get down to it as concluders. I don't want to make this long because it's late.
Gotcha.
Everybody, I've got over here in the description. You can see how you click on a link. That'll take you right over to my page where you can follow me. You can also follow Martin. You see, he's got it listed here on his handle at Martin Pratt. So you go on Clapper, you just type in Martin Pratt, MartinPratt, and then you'll find and follow him because Martin is dissecting this thing right now. I am triple hot. Y'all know I'm hot because it's past midnight Central Standard Time where I'm at now. And Martin ain't never seen me do no damn late night video or
No.
even in a room.
My wife was like, "Who's gonna be listening to y'all? You know it's 12 o'clock." I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter."
No. Because that's why I like this because I'm doing it on live where it's recorded. And when people wake up in the morning, they're gonna be like, "What? What?" So for all of y'all waking up seeing the recording, yes, we did something very late night. Why? Because your ass better not miss this. Y'all not gonna be able to say, Martin, Jay, y'all didn't tell us. We stayed up extra late to tell y'all the scoop. Get on
After doing a
Clapper.
room, right?
After doing it, we did a room. And I did what I do, one or two. I did one
On
or two
Clubhouse.
clubhouse
Yeah,
rooms today.
yeah.
We were going at it. You want to know why? Because when I smell it, I
Yes.
go all out. I'm a
Yeah,
beast when
yeah.
I smell it.
Right.
Right? It's like sharks in the water, man. When you smell that blood, you got to go get it. Momentum is the most precious thing in business.
Yeah.
Right? It's the most precious thing in business. When it's an opportunity to grab momentum, you go get it. There's 100,000 downloads a day on the App Store. Number one is Clapper right now. Gary Vaynerchuk, he just came on the app. Rosie O'Donnell just came on the app. Why? Because they'll tell you, go look at the post they're doing on Instagram and whatnot. They're going, this is the place to be. It's going to be hot. So I just want to come on, give y'all the scoop. We're going to be doing more and more teaching y'all about this. Last thing, Martin, then we're getting off here. We're going to try to wrap this up, guys, in 3 minutes or less.
Okay.
Monetization. I sent Martin a screenshot. So I did a short, about an hour and a half room on Clapper. And when I got done, as soon as you're done, it'll pop up and say, this is how much money you made during this time. And if you did a good job, typically you're going to make money. Talk about monetization, Martin. We're going to wrap it up in 3 minutes or less. But what you've seen on Clapper thus far.
Yeah. So what I think that the environment, or I don't want to use the word ecosystem, it's the culture. That's what it is. The culture of Clapper. So Clapper culture. That's another domain. But the culture of culture on Clapper is to, and this is a larger culture of social media. The word social says give. And it doesn't say, you're not social if you constantly in somebody's face saying, give me. You're social when you say, hey, how are you? What's your name? How can I get to know you? Oh, cool. You work over so my cousin was in it. That's what being social means and meant. And so what the intention to me with Clapper is the actual name, Clapper. You're clapping. It's a place, a platform where people are saying, let me give admiration or let me give encouragement. Let me again give, not take. So one of the things that you're able to do on Clapper is to purchase coins, and those coins. And this is again, like I said, to me, this is the best of different other platforms. So Meta has done this. Instagram has done this. TikTok, you have to have 10,000 followers to do this. But what's interesting about Clapper, the unique thing about Clapper is that for me, it still feels like it's in the infancy stage. So this is still this is not a toddler yet. This is still, and Jay's broke it down to us 3-year old. So it's that 3-year old, but it's a little bit, even to me, a little bit less than 3 years as far as the development, the mindset, the culture. So the culture is still in the baby state, but in their baby state from day one almost, they said let's monetize, let's give each person that comes on a platform the ability to actually give to each other from day one. So it wasn't something that had to evolve over 10 years or 15 years, which is where Facebook and Meta is at today, and Instagram, and even with TikTok. TikTok didn't let you give to anybody when it first started. So, but Clapper from day one was like, hey, we want to make sure that you can donate to each other and use the Clapper platform, which is, you said it earlier in a different room, gamification. This is something that's normal within, I play Tetris. So Tetris, I had pops up on Tetris and said, hey, you should buy $1.99 worth of whatever it is. I also play Snipe. And so the sniper game. And so you got to buy different pieces for the gun to shoot so far. And you have to calculate that and understand what you're doing. And so gamification, but it's a gamification with a monetization. So when I walk into a room, I have purchased 2,000 coins, which roughly is about, I guess, like $10 or $20. But I'm giving, and most rooms we go into are 20 and 30 people. So when I walk in, hey, Martin, hey, I'm just saying, ding, 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 ding. What I'm doing is I'm giving everybody a
So when you
coin.
walk in, you're giving people some love.
Right, correct. For just being there. And so what you said, when that room ends, in there, what happens is you get a message that says, hey, you spent the amount of time you spent on here, you made this amount of money. And that can be either recycled back into Clapper culture, or you can cash out, but you can't cash out until you get to $100. But the concept to me builds on that whole pattern of being social, giving, not asking first. Let me give
Right.
first, and then we can figure out how we can build each other up. But I'm gonna go ahead and donate, or I'm gonna go ahead and give to you, and that's what you see on the app. You see people with their causes. It's a what their pain point, or what their passion point is, and there's also a support mechanism they have built in it, and there's a shop mechanism where it's just like, for years we had to use places like Shopify to connect to Instagram. Instagram didn't have Instagram store, didn't have
Right.
Facebook
Right.
had Facebook Shop and Facebook Marketplace, but Instagram you had to use a third party. Clapper built that in
Yeah.
instantaneously 3 years ago. So like the you're
And most
seeing,
people were sleeping on it.
right, you're seeing creators. Something else that I think I've heard a lot on the platform is creators supporting creators. That's actually a hashtag. And so you can search for all the creators who are supporting each other. But it feels very like, I don't know if you ever heard of the maker community. So people who are makers are people who are artisans or craftsmen. So a lot of time craft beer. It may be a maker in your own community where
Hey,
they
remember
make
the three
this.
minute mark. Remember the 3 minute
Yeah,
mark.
right. Well, you
Martin
got me
get
started. You
going,
got me
man.
started.
He got
That's right.
okay. Last thing, Martin, you're gonna be dropping some dimes over in the XP Mentor social. So if you go to my
On
link
Clapper.
with,
Mm-hmm.
on Clapper, so go to Clapper and you follow my link. So I put my link in there. So you go over, you dial it in, right? Once you go over, very important, you join the community, which is the XP Mentor Social. And then, Martin, what are you going to do in 60 seconds or less, Martin?
Yeah,
What are you
sure,
going to
sure.
do for the next 30 days?
One gem a day. So that could be a gem on how to use content, a gem on LinkedIn, a gem on Google reviews, Google uh, SEO, a gem on domain names, how to connect your community together, a community building gem, just a gem every day within our XP Mentor social group on Clapper.
Man, it's gonna be crazy, y'all. That content alone is worth everything. So make sure you're following me. We're gonna be promoting that because people are gonna be able to use that as actionable things that you can use and you can go out and apply in your business and win. Martin, thank you for being here, man. We just want to give y'all a little special juice. We're wrapping up right now. Any final words, Martin?
No, just gonna say that you made a commitment also that you didn't talk about here that you were going to dial into Clapper within the next 30 days. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tell people that you were really ramping up on Clapper.
I'm gonna be doing every day, I should say 6 days a week on Clapper. I'll either be doing a radio room or a live 6 days a week on Clapper. And so the reason I'm doing that is because they're so intentional about monetization and they're the most, and somebody can come back and tell me, I'm looking for feedback. In my research, they're the most intentional
Right.
about content creators monetizing. So that's vibing with me. And I want people making money. So the people that come into the XP Metro community, my job as the founder and the leader of the community is to guide people to where they can advance their lives. Listen, in this world today, you got to have more money in order to advance. It's just the way it is. And so I want people taking their talents, their tools, and then I want to show people how to do it. So I'm looking for the platforms that give us the best at how do we monetize. And right now, for me, I haven't seen nothing to touch what Clapper's doing. And I'm going to see if my intuition is right. And the way I do that is I strike. I go on fire and I give it 90 days of blaze. So y'all can come on the ride because I said this on some other platforms before anybody knew anything about it. And Martin, can you comment on that before we close out? Most people didn't know what the hell I was talking about. But what do you
Yeah,
think
no.
about that?
Well, when you're talking about something that because you just dropped some gems on us about what companies from the Harvard Business School Business Review that which what came to my head when you were talking was momentum money. So this is momentum
Ooh.
money. So that third year of momentum and money. And so, or momentum monetization, you gotta be a part of it. So I want you to, give that to you so as you bring that example to other audiences, because I think that's a really powerful example. Just like I asked you about the 3%, the 10%, which you taught us at the XP Mentor Summit, Elite Summit in Florida, about that 3, 10, 60, and 27%. That stuck with me. So that's one of those things that 1, 2, 3, 4 year, what that looks like. So momentum money usually means that every platform creates a separate creator program. They usually Clubhouse did this twice, LinkedIn has done this twice, um, Facebook has done it numerous times, Instagram has started it, YouTube is, means that certain elite people on the platform get to become a creator, and you're invited into the creator program. The rest of us just have to stand there and look at each other and go, "How did they get in the creator program? How did?" Whereas with Clapper, the actual platform itself is a creator platform. That's to me,
Yeah.
and it's a authentic space of creation. So meaning like if you're creating quotes, you're not going to get, looked down, or you're not going to get, you're going to feel like, wow, people they really want to know about my quotes. Or I think it's Gemstone, the sister that has a gem business. She's it's a space for everybody, and a place. I think the veteran was her name Bethany. She said it while you were off mic, that it's an equal opportunity algorithm. And I think that that description was really, it's interesting because that means that the quilters, the beer, the magician, they get the same audience. They get the same opportunity every day to get impactful audience. And even if you don't, make hundreds of thousands of dollars within the Clapper system, because of the audience and the ability to be seen by millions of people, because the algorithm is equally showing everybody content, you can take that content and you can take that audience rather and monetize it some other place, which is that to me, that is the big opportunity, more so than even a Clapper platform for creating money.
It's awesome, man. Hey, hopefully y'all appreciated getting this late night double latte. This ain't just a late night latte. This is a late night double latte that Martin and I we dialed in. I don't want to get you some of that good ass coffee over at Beaver360.com. I'm gonna plug, I'm gonna promote, I'm gonna tell y'all about stuff I believe in. But Martin, thank you for staying up late night, sharing this with everybody. And let's continue to what? Clap, man. Get over there, get on the app.
Right.
We're gonna show you how
and
to
clap
monetize.
back. Clap back
and
at
clap
Jay.
back.
Yeah, clap
Hit
back
the
at Jay's
videos.
videos.
Go to my videos, and there's some 3 dots up in the right corner. It says clap back. That'll get you some momentum right away. So appreciate you, Martin.
All right.
Much
XP.
love, everybody. XP.